All right, good evening and welcome to Sky Yoga. We had such a positive response to hip flow on Saturday that I thought we would do some more hip stuff today. This is what I think of as hip flow 2. It's the other hip stretches that I do usually the day before or the day after, the class before or the class after the hip flow. So as always, we'll start with a little pranayama, intentional breathing. Find yourself a comfortable seated position. Allow your legs to relax downward. Allow your torso to rise up erect from your lower body. Your shoulders are level and relaxed. Elbows are just dangling below your shoulders. And then if you tuck your chin slightly, taking your eyes down toward the floor, you'll feel your neck line up with the rest of your spine. You might have to pull your chin back a little bit to get that alignment as well. And once you're in place, just begin to pay attention to your breath. No need to change it yet, just observing. Relax your belly so you can breathe into your belly. And let's focus on bringing the breath down deep into the belly and feeling your belly expand first and then your rib cage expand. So it's like a wave. The belly fills, the chest empties, the belly empties. And now we'll do a few cleansing breaths. Taking big, deep breath in, expand the entire torso, and then exhale, squeezing your abdominals. Really feel this flattening out. Navel goes down toward your spine. And on the next one, you may do lion's breath, sticking out your tongue. Wonderful. All right, time to warm up from the neck down. So first, just let your head hang down. And feel the muscles beginning to stretch in the back of your neck, across your shoulders. You can wobble your head side to side. And when you feel the neck muscles starting to warm up, expand that movement to a big semicircle. And maybe a full circle. If you're full circling, try the other direction, which may or may not work. And let the shoulders stay down as you do this. And then we'll sit back up again, correct your posture. If you started to lean forward, sit up straight, shoulders relaxed, and we'll drop the head to one side, feeling the upper side of the neck stretch, facing forward. On your next inhale, come up. And exhale the other way. Forgive my yawns. Again, try to keep your shoulders level and not lean over. Just your neck stretching here. On your next inhale, sit up. Now we're going to look at a diagonal so your chin is over your thigh. And then drop the head down. Breathe. On your inhale, come up. Turn back to center. Turn the other way, chin in line with your thigh, and drop the chin down. So I feel a very gentle stretch across the opposite shoulder away from where my chin is. And on your next inhale, come up and back to center. And now we'll open the arms wide, spread the fingers, thumbs up, gently press the backs of your hands toward each other. Keeping the chest forward, kind of puffing out your chest. And on your next exhale, give yourself a big hug, arms in front of you, elbows stacked. And on your, sorry about that, open wide, inhale. And then we'll do a side bend. Big long stretch from hip to hand on the upper side, elbow bending deeply on the lower side. Your elbow on top is over your ear if possible. And on the next inhale, reach up high. And exhale the other way. Stretching the upper side, bending the lower elbow. And then inhale up again. And we'll do shoulder rolls. Inhaling up, exhaling down. See if you can keep your hands at rest and make it all about the shoulders. And of course, your shoulders bring the elbows along. And we'll change direction. And then we'll do a couple of those pullbacks with the shoulder blades. So we're pulling the shoulder blades back and feel it down here in the lower trapezius toward the bottom of your rib cage. So those trapezius muscles are like two long tapered wings coming down around your shoulder blades, covering them. And they come together at a point in the middle of your back when you're squeezing your shoulder blades back, and then release and roll the shoulder blades forward, push your tummy back as if you were doing a cat, and then squeeze back again. And roll forward. And we'll do one more set, squeezing back and rolling forward. Okay, and now we'll transition to hands and knees and do more cats and cows. Be sure to put a folded blanket or towel under your wrists or knees if needed. And we'll start by lengthening through the arms, long, long arms, pushing the belly up and the rib cage up, dropping the head down, up into an arch, pause, stretch, and then exhale back. Resting on the heels for a moment, and then drop your elbows and inhale as you pull forward, belly drops down. So your back is scooped out the opposite way, and then flip around again and just cycle through your cats and cows at your pace. And when you complete your next circle, we'll come back to a neutral tabletop and do some horse pose. So just the kind of loose organic horse pose where you just look over your shoulder at your hips, compressing that side. And then inhale to center and exhale the other way, looking over your shoulder toward your hips, squeeze them together. And inhale, center, and just do a couple more sets at your own pace. So exhale to the side, inhale to center, exhale to the side, back to center, one more set. And back to center, great. We'll do thread the needle next. So I've got my cushion ready. Inhale, my right arm as high as it goes. Oh, it's above horizontal, yay. And then exhale down, resting the head and shoulder. Bringing the palms together. Left arm slides out, stretch, stretch, stretch. Don't rush this part. This is a great stretch for both arms. And allow your butt to sink down towards your heels. It's not going to touch your heels in this position, but let your back lengthen. And then with an exhale, if you're able, wrap your left arm around behind you. And maybe you're able to grab your hip or your thigh. And maybe you want to roll your right forearm on the floor. And then we'll unwind that left arm, place your hand near your face, press up, inhale the right arm high, and exhale it back down. Switching sides, inhale the left arm, reach, and exhale down. Hands palm to palm, and then slide the right hand out. Pause and enjoy that stretch in both arms. And if you're able, wrap the right arm around behind you. Nope, not today. And option to roll the left arm on the floor. And then bringing that right hand near your face, press up, inhale the left arm. And exhale down. Lining up for kickstand. Extend the right leg, flex your foot, roll your ankle around, roll it both directions. Maybe you'll hear some snaps and crackles. And then swing that right leg out to the side. Come down to rest on your forearms. And you have two options here. You can stay kind of upright in this position, reach out and try to grab your toes, or you can let your body sink over toward the left, like I'm doing, kind of melting over toward the left and making this a little more free form. So my right leg is kind of splashed against the floor. I'm not sure of a better word. It's very relaxed looking. I need to wear higher contrast leggings so I show up against the mat. Either way, the right leg is fully relaxed. Let's bring the right hand back, lift up, and bring the right knee back as well. And we'll switch sides. Extend the left leg, flex your foot, roll that ankle around, roll it the other way. So there's the snap. And then swing it out to your side. Nice and long, relaxed. And again, you can stay centered and reach for your toes, or you can just collapse over to the right this time, letting your body weight stretch out your left leg. And we'll bring the left hand back in, lift up, bring the left knee back in. Great. Time for drunken cow, hooray. So on all fours in tabletop, just start spinning around, big circles with your breath. Maybe focus a little more on the hips today, since that's our class focus. So maybe swinging forward, back and forth, opening up the hips, stretching the flexors. And then changing direction. And then the next time you're ready to go back, open your knees up wide, bring your big toes together, and sink down into child's pose with your hips aiming for your heels. Your arms can be stretched out in front of you. You can bend them up to touch behind your neck for a tricep stretch. Or you can extend them along your sides, whatever position is best for you. I find that extending them along my sides takes, so my hands in the other positions support some weight, but this allows more weight to press my hips downwards. So maybe just give it a try. With your arms along your sides, see how that feels. And we'll bring the arms back up to the front, and coming through tabletop, bringing the thighs back to parallel, we'll swing forward into up dog or come down on your elbows in Sphinx. And this is our ab stretch. So just pause here, sway your torso, look over your shoulders, and let your abs be loose. Let them get a good stretch. All right, and from here, we're going to do a few yoga push-ups, which I discovered that I can do again on Saturday, which is nice. So on your belly with your elbows straight up and down. So your forearms are straight up and down. Your hands are kind of at the widest part of your chest. Legs are parallel. We're going to lift up, extending both arms fully. And we come up into this up dog position and then lower down. And that was one. And we'll just do 5 nice and slow. Lifting up, pause, and lowering down with control. That's 2. Full extension. And come back down. 2 more. Extend and lower. Last one, up and down. And let's push back into child's pose, knees wide again, big toes touch again. And this time definitely bring the palms of your hands to the back of your neck for a little tricep stretch. And you can wiggle your elbows around until you feel like you're getting the best stretch for you and your triceps, the backs of the arms. I'm going to put the lighter mat on top so you can see. Just seems extra dark tonight. The white fluff ball McCloud doing this so you can see everything. Let's do an upper arm stretch. So sit back on your heels. Sorry, forearm and wrist, not upper arm. Flip the palms out, bring them all the way down. So maybe you're able to have your palms all the way down and still sit on your heels, maybe not. But the important thing is palms down, even if that means your butt is off your heels. And then you can sway side to side or make circles. Be gentle, your elbows are inside out, they're not used to this. So this is a great stretch for the wrist and forearms for people who sit and type or sit and drive a lot. And then we'll sit back and shake that out. Good, okay. So let's get into the hip work for tonight. We'll lie down on the back and do wet wash rag, yay. So on the back, hugging your right knee in. Left leg is long and relaxed. Hug that right knee. Feel your left hip flexor stretching. And now we're going to take your right shin in your right hand and open it outward. So just let your right leg drop toward the ground. If your foot touches the floor, that's fine. You can stick a block under your foot if you don't like it dangling. Now we're just using the weight of your right arm and your right leg to stretch your inner thigh muscles and open up the hip joint. And now hug that knee back in. Give it a big pull. Feel that stretch in the front of the left hip. And now we'll switch hands. Left hand takes your right knee. Right foot is going to tuck behind your left knee and roll over. So you're pulling your knee across your body. And you can look at the ceiling or you can look over your right shoulder. And this is the wet wash rag part, the big, gentle spinal twist. I'm really feeling that around the low to mid back, around my waist. And also in the outer right hip or right outer hip. So pulling that right knee toward the floor on your left side. Yeah. Squeeze out the wash rag. And we'll roll back to center, give it another hug. Bring the other knee up and switch. So now the right hip flexor in the front gets to stretch. We're hugging the left knee in. And then grab that left shin in your left hand, open outwards like a wing. Stretching the inner left thigh and the left hip joint is opening up. pull it in, preparing to switch. Right hand grabs your left knee, your left foot tucks behind your right thigh, and over we go. Knee across your body toward the floor. Look at the ceiling or away from your knee over your left shoulder. Big stretch in the outer left hip now. And a big twist around your waist. Let's come back to center, hug both knees. Oh, give that back a chance to come back to neutral, maybe rock a bit. Roll to one side and push up. And do some windshield wipers and baby pigeon pose. So feet nice and wide, wider than your hips, hands behind you for support. And we're going to rock the knees from side to side. And the reason they need to be wide is so you have plenty of room. Make sure you can see for that knee to come all the way down near your heel. So if it's resting on top of your heel, open your feet up wider. You want every chance for that knee to come all the way down. We're rolling the fascia that wraps around the quadriceps muscle. And then the next time your knees are facing right, we're going to bring our hands in front of your right knee, maybe about a foot in front of your right knee. Come down and rest your weight on your forearms and rest your torso on your right thigh. So you're looking at the side of the room. You're not at an angle. It's a right angle, so I guess it is an angle. And we are allowing your weight to press into the right hip. We're just mashing the right hip into the floor. And straighten your arms. The left arm will come back behind you again. Let's do a couple of swipes. Make sure your feet are nice and wide. They sometimes creep together when we do that resting pose. And then the next time your knees are pointing left, bring your forearms in front of your left knee. Rest your torso on your left thigh. And come down into zebra pose or baby pigeon. Smash that left hip into the floor. There's two ways to stretch things, right? You can pull at them, which we do in certain poses, or you can press them down, which is what we're doing here. Think of cookie dough being rolled out as opposed to taffy being pulled and stretched. And then straighten the arms. The right arm comes back behind you. Do a couple more swipes. Yay. And then we'll go into rock the baby. So we're going to bring the right foot in as if you were sitting cross-legged. The left shin is our baby. So the left heel comes somewhere on your right forearm. Maybe it's just at your wrist. Maybe it's all the way up in your elbow. And then your left knee is in your left elbow. And your forearms are holding your shin and rocking the baby. If this isn't comfortable for you to wrap your arms around your shin like this, you can place both forearms under your shin, more like a forklift, right? And angle it up towards you that way. So either way, we've got our shin and we're rocking side to side, forward and back. Maybe you can do little circles without losing your balance. If you're circling, go both ways. And then let's extend the right leg. That's going to change your balance, change the stretch a little bit. I'm going to move my foot a little bit. There we go. So make whatever adjustments you need and go through the series again. So to and fro. Side to side. So I'm really feeling this all around my left hip. And then maybe you can do little circles without losing your balance. And if you are, try the other direction. And I can see in the video my foot is moving up and down to help me keep my balance, kind of unconsciously, like a dog uses its tail. Wow, that feels great. All right, now we're going to grab the left foot in the left hand, stretch that leg out, see if you can get vertical. Woo! Keep your ankle relaxed, pull your toes towards your face. Big stretch all up and down the leg. And then we're going to bring the left foot in, and the right foot becomes the baby. So your right heel will be somewhere on your left forearm. If you're just starting or you're not so flexible, it'll be near your wrist. Maybe it can come up to your elbow eventually. And then your right knee goes in your right elbow. And again, if this is not comfortable or doable, then just bring your forearms under your shin like a forklift instead. All right, so all the directions, side to side. To and fro. Little circles. Change direction. And then we're going to extend the left leg, make any adjustments you need to, and go through the whole series again. It doesn't matter which order. I'm going to start with circles this time. Circles. Changing direction on the circles. So lots of big stretching going on in the right hip. Oh, and then to and fro, forward and back. And then side to side. And finally, we're going to grab the right foot in the right hand and extend the leg fully. Ooh. Grabbing your toes, relax your ankles so your leg can stretch. And come on down. Very nice. We're sitting in a nice wide forward bend. So reach out towards your toes, your ankles, whatever you can grab. And try to make this a chest opening pose. So just like when we sit in Baddha Konasana, right? We pull the shoulders back and open the chest. Same thing here, reaching forward, lifting the chest instead of hunching forward, and feel that stretch. And then we're going to do half lightning. So I don't recommend full lightning unless you're very flexible. So we're going to pull the left leg in like you're sitting cross-legged. And now the right leg is going to fold behind you. So this is a very pretty angular sort of thing. And we're going to lower down. You may already feel a stretch here in your right inner thigh area, in the right hip joint area. So take this very slowly, a step at a time, and don't do it if it's not comfortable. We're going to lower down onto the left elbow, keeping the right knee down. And you may already be feeling a stretch here in your quads. And if this is a bit much for you, you can stop right here. if you're able to continue, you can lower your right elbow down. And I always find it convenient to grab my right foot with my right hand. And now I'm getting a really deep stretch in the right quad. And the right leg is in the lightning pose. And if you had both legs bent like the right leg is, you would be in full lightning, which is too hard on most people's knees, I think. And you can lean your head back if that feels good to you. If not, don't do it. And how do we get out of this, you say? Shift your weight into your left elbow. Bring your right arm around towards your left hand, and then push up from the left side. So that's how I would get up safely. Oh, wow. So we're going to extend the right leg and give it a little love. And then the right foot comes in and the left foot goes behind. And we'll do half lightning the other way. So of course your sides may be different. You may have an injury on one side or just be less flexible on one side. So again, go slowly and carefully. We're going to come down onto the right elbow and just pause and check in. Is this intense in your left quad? And if it's not too intense, you can come down on your left elbow, and probably your left hand is about in place to grab your left foot. And this is a pretty intense stretch for me. You can drop your head here if you like. Breathe through it. Come out early if you need to. It's not a problem. And let's all come out safely if you haven't yet. We're going to straighten the left arm and bring it around to the right side. And then both arms push you up from the right. And we're done. Good job. You made it. Yay. So let's come down onto the back and do one final twist before Shavasana. Relaxing down, head rests, feet side by side. We're going to straighten the thighs so that your knees are directly above your hips, your feet are in the air, your arms tee out to the sides, and we'll do John's pose, knee down twist. So drop your knees to the right, let your feet touch the ground. Your right hand holds your knees down, and you look away from your knees, either at the ceiling or away over your left shoulder. Very gentle spinal twist, very gentle hip stretch. Let your body relax into it. Really, nothing has to work here. Even the hand that's holding your knees down can just lie there as a dead weight. It doesn't have to pull. Make this a passive pose, preparing for Shavasana. We'll bring the head back to center. Engage your abs to protect your back as you pull your knees into center. Rock. Lift. So knees are over hips. Arms tee out. Knees drop to the left. Left hand weighs them down. And look either at the ceiling or over your right shoulder. Let your hips relax. Look to center. Engage your abs, pull your knees to center, give them a hug. Oh, and then come into your favorite position for Shavasana. Let everything relax. Let's start from the hips. Let everything in that region just sink down. Let your buttocks sink, let your pelvic muscles relax. Let your low back relax. It may be arched off the mat. That's okay. Let your whole spine relax. the whole length of it. And let your rib cage relax around it. And on the top side of your torso, let your abs relax. Let your shoulders sink down. And let this relaxation flow down your arms, through your upper arms, elbows, forearms, palms of your hands, and fingertips. And bring your attention back to your pelvic area and move downward, relaxing your thighs, your hamstrings, your knees, your calves and ankles, the sole of your foot, and all of your toes, just soft and relaxed. Let your head sink heavy into the mat. And let your whole face go soft. Let's start with the big muscle in your jaw. Let it relax. And all the tiny muscles around your mouth. And all the tiny muscles around your eyes. And that slightly larger muscle between your eyebrows. Release it. Let your forehead relax. And let your neck relax. And let your throat relax. Let your throat be soft and open so your breath can go in and out. Take a deep breath, bringing oxygen to every part of you. Beginning with small movements, gradually enlarging those, and finishing off with whatever stretch your back is craving. You can roll to one side. This is our first session of the month. I hope you have a wonderful month. And then push up to seated. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.